Ziggity Zig, back with more Tales from the Ladder, and this is a game sent in by that guy Griff and YouSeemOP, and that guy Griff is apparently Con Terran on this one, and they're going up against iSoulSSa and Nubster, possibly supposedly pronounced Noobster, but if you're trying to do that, then you deserve to be called Nubster. So this is a game happening on some resupply tanker. It's a 2v2 on ladder, so we're just going to watch what's going to happen here. Now, what happens more often than not on the 2v2 ladder is kind of a fair amount of one player sort of rushes and the other one banks up a whole bunch of economy and upgrades, and so they can finally hit, because if you don't need to have any of the base units up front, then you don't need to worry about using all of that money on, oh, there's the STFU. Okay, that's also very classic from the old 2v2 ladder. Yeah, so, you know, you would go barracks, and then factory, and then starport, and you wouldn't be making anything out of the first two as kind of a defense for anyone coming in towards and seeing you going straight battlecruiser. So one of you goes straight battlecruiser with nothing in between. There's a little bit of a chest bump going on right there, and the other one makes a whole bunch, a whole stink ton of Marines, combat shield, and whatnot. So you just kind of keep going in with the Marines and being kind of a jerk and wandering out. Everyone's, wow, what's going on over here? It's just a whole lot of, yeah, there's some, just some basics. So yeah, we got some double barracks. Yeah, so one of you is pretty much going straight up front, being very harassy and keeping the enemy on his toes, and the other one is making this enormous, powerful army to come in behind it because they've been set off, or just kind of, you know, set off their main game. No one's really going for the up the stairs expansion up here. We can just kind of go up this nice easy ramp. We have a pretty easy one to defend, but what's going on here is we have iSoulSSa is moving his scout up to the top just to see if there's any kind of an expansion, just trying to see if maybe he can hide up here. Don't know. Getting a little bit caught out over here by YouSeemOP, who's getting a little bit of a poke in there with the probe. The first gateway is now Dunski's. I'm not sure if that's going to really be our best bet. So maybe some EPM just to see what's going on, and it looks like our friends are kind of low on the EPM. However, YouSeemOP does seem to get everybody out of the way, and only using a couple of probes. The cyber core is now, so he's finished off kind of a decent base of a wall there. Double gas going on there for that guy Griff, and lots of gas going on up here. He's going to move into the factory. There we go. So we think we've got our tech and our push, where we've got our, yeah, there we go. And these two barracks are basically charging in right here. And that is where they are going to come down, because that is where, that is where the Reaper's going to come down. Reaper harassed from one character while the other one does a full-on build-up, who is, you know, he's making a factory and a Marine right now, so that's all fine and fair. This Reaper pretty much gets instantly chased out by these two Marines who did see that coming, and now really, you just kind of want to look at the income level. I'm not sure if that's the amount of minerals, or can I get the M? No, that's APM. So yeah, income and minerals, maybe we'll get rid of that for now. Can't even get up the nameplates. There's just 3 Reapers right now, and he's still going to try to bounce up and down. So Nubster is just kind of, yep, moving in like that. There is the starport, so it's the Destiny Cloud Fist build going on right there. And here is Nubster waiting to build his command center up there on about 300. So here are, there's a little bit more harassment going on right now with the Reapers, and they're still just kind of bouncing up and down. So this is Nubster just trying to keep Griff off his game. And if you look at the income tabs, Griff is, well, not fully off his game. Definitely not getting as much gas as he wanted, because this one is slightly towards where the harassment is actually coming from. YouSeemOP is left to his own devices. He's doing all right now. Moving into a 2-gate. I'm not sure if there's any... nope, haven't started researching warp gate just yet, but, you know, these kinds of things sort of happen. Now what I'm seeing here is that we have a number of harvesters over here for YouSeemOP, 23 to Griff's 18, to Nubulars or Nubsters 15 over here to iSoulSSa's 21. So, I mean, everyone's pretty much on the same even keel. Here is an attempt of a drop. No one's really taken that expansion just yet. Here are some of these. Nubster's Reapers are just sitting up top now, and Griff is kind of, you know, pretty much ready to do something about this, but they really could be doing a whole lot more than they are currently doing. So Nubster is obviously working on Nubster is working on taking an expansion, and so is iSoulSSa. So YouSeemOP is trying to get a stalker out here at the same time he is quite supply blocked, so I suppose that could use a little bit of work. And now all these Marines can't see up the hill, and so they're actually getting picked off one by one by these Reapers, by these Reapers who they would normally be doing quite well up against, but oh no, these Reapers are just doing some serious damage, and they are slowly going to take down this factory, and that's not good. That needs to be, there it is, and it gets the cancel, but the Reapers are just up this hill, and they're in quite a bit of trouble. Here comes a little bit of reinforcement from YouSeemOP in the form of Void Ray and a Mothership Core, so I'm not trying to figure out what kind of losses we're seeing here. We're seeing 9 units lost, so most of the resources lost are in Griff's corner, which is an interesting thing because Griff is mostly putting up the front of the base units, while YouSeemOP is putting up kind of this interesting Stargate push and maneuver, and he is going to start moving towards. But there is the drop from iSoulSSa, and iSoulSSa's drop is going to do quite a bit of damage up against this, but the thing is that, yeah, no, can't really do much. Wow, iSoulSSa takes off after that attack, and in fact, this Void Ray might get one. Oh, money shot there. Why did iSoulSSa take off? He had the units, did not boost out of there. That was a huge loss from iSoulSSa right there. That was just, I don't know why he tried doing that, because was he worried about his Mothership Core setting off a photon overcharge on the orbital command? That doesn't really seem like it would make a whole lot of sense, but it does seem like that's why he picked up and left, because he actually did outnumber all of the units that were there. That guy Griff was actually out of units pretty much. The units lost are still 0 for YouSeemOP, which is awesome. There's that upstairs base going on just there. So now most of the players now moving to a second. Really? Just 2 Vikings? That's where you're going to come in as? Moving into 2 base. YouSeemOP is still just rocking into a number of air units, getting the Stargate going. That is going to be, yep. So there's a robotics facility, probably for a little bit of vision. And that guy Griff is still moving in, just keeping churning out these Marines. Probably want to move in a couple of Marauders just for fun, and eventually move into a starport so that he can have the medevacs. If not, to transport them up and down hills, then at least to heal them as they start doing things. Now, there's really no pressure going on up at the top of the base. No, the 3-4 is showing you that, yeah, they do see a few things, and these Vikings are coming in for a bit of a scout, which is intriguing, but the thing is they're going to come across the cannons, and then they're going to choose the wrong direction. One of them is going to get quickly picked off, and once again, nothing of YouSeemOP's has taken any damage. There's no hurt there whatsoever, so he's controlling a bit of the skies. There's a number of units here. Here's a Phoenix as well, just to take care of these Vikings, because they can shoot on the move, on the fly. That's, yeah, it seems kind of redundant to call it on the fly, but there is that guy Griff is taking his second base as well. Maybe a little bit later than everyone else, but Terran is not his main race, and there are a lot of tanks up here. So it seems to be kind of, yeah, mostly just a Destiny Cloud Fist build. So you got your tanks, you got your Vikings, it's kind of basic. This guy's expecting a lot of Colossus, maybe a couple of Templars. And so he's probably, you know, well, he might move into some Ghost and things like that, but now we do eventually have, oh, there we go, so Widow Mines, Engineering Bay is actually working on a couple of upgrades for Nubster, which is pretty fun, and now he's just surrounding his base in missile turrets and Widow Mines, which is the Turtle Terran method of everything. Not so much going on over here. Here comes the Phoenix, not quite the cloak or the hallucinated Phoenix, but he is going to see one, possibly a second. Nope, does just see the one Widow Mine on its way, and is now going to take a couple of shots here from iSoulSSa, but there's a couple of units slowly making their way across. This is the last of the units forward for iSoulSSa of the Vikings, and now, yeah, so YouSeemOP is just looking for third bases, doesn't spot any, and he's just kind of scouring for Vikings. He probably, yeah, because this one can't be repaired. It's one of the few, actually no, not one of the few, but yeah, the Reaper I think is the only Terran unit that does get auto-repaired. Oh, and YouSeemOP, I think, brought him back before he got a chance to take out that Vikings. A few units, like a couple of things coming over here by Nubster, and then there's just this one Marine here, so he's just trying to take these two, the two guys, iSoulSSa and Nubster, are just trying. There's the Marauders I was talking about. Now we're talking, we get into some pretty hot stuff, and it's still just going to be bare. Oh no, wait, there's the. I'm looking at the starport right there. Derp sauce-tastic, but the barracks, and where's the factory? He must have moved the factory somewhere, or, yeah, probably just right over there. Would you look with your face and with your eyes in the middle of it? That would be handy and helpful. So they got just kind of a rogue air unit just off here for each side. You got a Viking down at the bottom, and now here are just a few Widow Mines. So Nubster has played Terran before and knows that how you win game is just you have Widow Mines. And so now YouSeemOP is looking at just, this is kind of a cat's cradle attempt at destroying these rocks. So he's going to take a third base down here, taking that gold, which is an awesome idea. Still just a few units on their way through, and there is, the Observer is going to make its way into the map. Probably not fake out anybody, and I don't think it's going to get caught out of place by oh dear. Speaking of getting caught out of place, this thing's about to get eaten. So now the air is kind of owned by YouSeemOP, because I don't know that, well, actually, no, there was a number more Vikings made, so, yeah, just a few, 12. This Observer is now going to sit over top of here and just make sure that he sees everything that's going on through this little kind of open chasm to the rest of the map no one cares about. So that's being well sought after. Here is a SCV coming right to the front lines. He is just a try-hard SCV, has always wanted to see what's going on the other side of the map. He says, I pick up minerals all day, and sometimes people get me go in and get green cubes. Are they cubes? I want to check and make sure that they're actually cubes. Do they collect cubes in Terran? No, it's little canisters. Which one was cubes? One of them was cubes. Protoss? Who's Protoss? I gotta go check. Cubes! There they are, collecting cubes. I totally know what's going on in the meta of this game, where I don't even know what's going on in the basic animation. So here are, well, that's quite the units. So here, yeah. Here is iSoulSSa coming down with his ginormous army, probably, maybe telling Nubster that he's coming down at the same time. YouSeemOP is now aware of this because he does see a great number of things, but now he's going to engage this, and the Void Rays are going to engage a lot of this air army, but the problem is they're not really going to be doing much because the Vikings are going to tear through the Void Ray army, which is terrible. These Stalkers are not going to last very long up against the siege tanks, and now that did do quite a number against this army, but there's nothing left behind, and so they're... Luckily, thatguygriff comes in behind us at exactly the same time. Now, this is the point where Nubster wants to bring his army that's over here on the left-hand side down to attack thatguygriff's army, but the problem there is that Nubster is really not paying attention whatsoever, so this little attack down here, that was the main army, the main focus of iSoulSSa. So what iSoulSSa has not learned from 2v2 is you get the dumbed guy to attack first. Well, his rocket's 71, so maybe not. But yeah, if you get the guy who's not moving quite as fast as you are to attack first, then that kind of pulls off the armies, and then they have maybe not quite as many units, and then you just come in behind and completely swarm them and just overwhelm them entirely. But it doesn't look like that has entirely happened. The gold base is on the way. YouSeemOP is really hurting for resources and units available. They're seeing these scans come up, so now they're just hoping for the choke point to come down. There's a number of dropships going on right here, and they're gonna go out, yep, first. So Griff just making sure that he's got all those units ready. You could kind of get these guys in behind, but you do have your Widow Mines ready to go. Meanwhile, most of these Widow Mines have been moving out here, and that YouSeemOP is ready out here to the side because he has the Observer up in that general vicinity, and it's still moving forward with the... Okay, that guy's not really going to see too many good things. Boom! Dead. Gone. So he's still moving his way... Nubster's moving his way forward with some missile turrets, and now, forgetting the fact that he saw an army in over here, he's now just going to try to go in behind it, but the problem is that YouSeemOP has an Observer right there, so they know exactly where this army is. Nubster's dudes are going to move out over in that direction, and he's actually moved his dropships out of position to do that. And now that guy Griff, is he gonna... Oh, he was trying to bait him back into the Widow Mines, but the problem there was that Nubster moved in with a scan, And still in behind this, you do see there's the iSoulSSa units tracking down at the same time, and here's some more air units coming up, so the Void Rays are coming over top of everybody, and they're trying to get some shots in on these dropships, but it's just not quite enough. I don't think Griff and YouSeemOP have enough to do anything about this, but now they're all... It did get sieged up, but then it got unsieged again, so that's not going to last very long. These unsieged tanks, it's just all of these engagements could be going so very well for iSoulSSa and Nubster, but they just are not. They're just not capitalizing, taking advantage of any of their actual advantages that they have in the first place. So they're just, I don't want to say mistake after mistake, but it certainly is just not realizing what you could capitalize on. For example, you've got your ground army, you plop down your siege tanks, get your siege tanks ready, and then try to move in. Maybe they're just put off by the fact that this is an air army and a ground army at the same time, but that's essentially what they were trying to put together as well, except now I think iSoulSSa has stopped with the Viking production, despite the fact that that seemed to be its most popular thing, and so now it's just kind of ground units, so really they don't have all that much that is going to do anything against, yeah, there's 3 Vikings there. Do we have any Vikings over on this side? No, not seeing any. And he's still just leaving everybody out in the open, not seeing anything. There's just a few, yep, there's a number of, it's just the scan wars right now. It's just a number of missile turrets all kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And now they got to, there we go. They got to group up, get ready, get your siege tanks ready. If you know that the scan is coming, if you're ready for these kinds of things, where is this medevac going? Now he's going to try to get some high ground. Now we're finally actually making some decent maneuvers. But now YouSeemOP and thatguygriff, they are trying to get in a good position here as well. We have 3 bases right now. No one's taken the gold base quite, okay, so iSoulSSa has taken the gold base, but just not in the way that you think he should have taken the gold base. Oh my goodness, and they're not combining up their armies. Nubster is still moving out with this strange make a missile turret every 12 feet build, bringing all of his dudes, and so if you look at the income now, it's not rocking too well here for the 2. And YouSeemOP is getting all the gas right now, so he is still just getting very close to being able to... what kind of units do we have? Was that a mothership core? That is the mothership! Where that mothership is at. I can't quite see... Oh, there it is. So you're right in the middle. Can I see it? Ping it! Get your... No, I can't quite see it. Anyway. Oh! That's because it's over here. I'm very clever. Shut up. Here's some cloaked marines, because whatever, and thatguygriff has moved up to his 3rd base. There's now... No, that's not a base. That's just kind of a dude. He's got a number of... So he's moving out his widow mines to be in front of him, which is a pretty sweet maneuver. I do like that one. But what I'm expecting to see here... Cloaking field, time warp mass recall, don't have enough of the... unit or the mana to do that. The Tempests are now rocking in behind this, so here's what we're talking about. thatguygriff's got the basic units, and so the basic units are going to try to get through here, chew through a number of this army, and then once this army is slightly weakened, let's hope maybe not quite so much, although thatguygriff is still rocking. Oh no, he's only at 107 of 169. And yeah, we got kind of 200 armies, except we've got that guy, YouSeemOP is sitting over here with his 200 army, and he's just waiting for all these dudes to come in, because any moment now, YouSeemOP is going to wander in here with his flight, going to come right over the middle of the base, but these tanks are just kind of moving off to the side, and he's hopefully, are you going to get it set up? There, finally going to set up the siege mode for, I don't even know what you're waiting for there, but... Here, oh yeah, so he's moving them over top of, and he's losing a couple of units to these widow mines, which is a pretty sweet maneuver by thatguygriff, which is exactly what Nubster was trying to do in the first place. Here comes iSoulSSa moving his way out. He ran away from a single cannon. These guys are super paranoid about everything. This one Tempest is not going to do too well here. It's going to die pretty quickly, but now there's a mass recall from YouSeemOP, and he's moving in here with the mothership core. Or not the mothership core, the mothership, all the Tempests, all the Void Rays, and meanwhile here are the, oh no, the Terran units are doing a little bit of damage to each other, but this is pretty much going to completely waste all the units that were brought in here by iSoulSSa, so YouSeemOP getting really, really well off, and yeah, here's what you do with the siege tanks. You siege them up, And then, you know, when you siege them, they don't move much anymore. Now would be the time to move out and chase them down and try to do something about this. We got iSoulSSa trying to get something going in the middle gold, the double gold bases right there. So he is, they are trying to protect this with a fair number of missile turrets. Yep, it's all about them missile turrets, but I just don't think that's really going to do it. And he's still trying to take out all of Griff's Widow Mines, but not quite happening. These siege tanks are actually doing a little bit of work up here, but Griff is trying to maneuver his way out of the way, getting in a couple of stims there, and he's only got the one dropship, the one medevac that's doing a good number of work here, and I think he's going to lose most of his units, but meanwhile, here is the giant air army, and it's coming in towards this flank, and and now Nubster is going to get his army over here to try to protect, but that guy Griff does not have all that much left, and YouSeemOP is just obliterating his way across the map, and this is where we're going to start to see that the units and the resources lost. For a Protoss, when you see the Protoss with not many resources lost, that's usually going pretty well for the Protoss. So here come a few more units right there on the way for iSoulSSa, and I'm not sure how they're going to do up against these Tempests. I think actually maybe a couple of these Tempests are going to, yep, so they frighten him enough to get rid of him entirely, and the small ground army is going to get just knocked back, but the remainder of the air army here by YouSeemOP is going to return back. In fact, these Zealots and, it's the Zealots and Dark Templar. The Dark Templar are putting in some huge work right now. They're just going to come in here because I think everyone's run out of scans. No, they still have lots of scans left. They're just choosing not to scan so much anymore. There's one. So he's going to get rid of a couple of Dark Templar. Going to get rid of one, and the other one runs just out of range, but right into the range of the missile turret. Comes in here to try to get rid of a number of, oh my goodness, that's going to do some work. 9 scans. Good. Good. I can see it. I can see that you're killing things. 12, 13, keep going. Give her. That's gone well. Resources lost. You just see Nubster. Keep it on, keep it on. We're up to 19 kills there, and here's... There we go. Finally picked him off. Okay, so that's gone well. That was kind of a needle in the haystack kind of maneuver right there, where if they don't notice that you're doing something small, then maybe it's there's no purpose to it whatsoever. And here's a little pylon out here. I'm not sure what happened to that original Phoenix that was on its way out. And maybe mine the base. It's the 4th base right there, so I'm sure Griff or YouSeemOP is not doing too poorly. And I think now they're trying to talk about either that's the boys up top talking about where they're kind of weak, or it's them talking about what base they want to take, or hopefully it's it's YouSeemOP and that guy Griff trying to decide what base they want to take next. The units lost tab, this is kind of a very interesting maneuver right here for Nubster, because he's going to come in and his units can't do anything about this, and this command center is going to die quickly. And the units that are going to come up here and try to assist are, okay, never mind, they're not. There's one Nubster SCV, but that is 400 minerals down the tank. So it does look like, yeah, the units lost and the resources lost is kind of high on the end of the guys in the north. And here comes the air army. They're working their way up the right-hand side of the map, while Nubster and iSoulSSa are trying to hook up and try to make sort of a big, ginormous Terran army of still, honestly, just Marines. But here is the big giant ball of sky death coming in from the top, and nope, they're not worried about that at all. They're going to come out here and just try to destroy all of what that guy Griff has in store, and I don't think Griff's got enough to get through this, but definitely YouSeemOP is going to be able to get through most of iSoulSSa's. No, iSoulSSa's running back. He's scared. He's afraidy with the Marines, and now he's deciding to actually do something about. No, I thought he was going to go back to take care of this entire base. It's being completely destroyed. There's the ground units moving their way in, so he does take care of that guy Griff. iSoulSSa and Nubster can slowly make their way down the left-hand side of the base, but there is a little bit of reinforcements right now for that guy Griff, so he's going to stop them in their tracks. Well, not really stop them in their tracks, but certainly give them pause and leave. And here come, and a couple more Dark Templar moving their way in, and they didn't last quite as long as their compatriots did. And some Vikings go land, Vikings land. They see me land, and they hate. And really, iSoulSSa has almost 0 base. There's just no economy right now. Nope, iSoulSSa's got absolutely nothing going on whatsoever. There's that guy Griff is just trying to throw a couple more dudes in here, and the Dark Templar is still trying to do a little bit of work, so YouSeemOP is just throwing the Mothership Core, the Zealot, the Void Rays, the Tempests, and some Dark Templar. So here are a few more. Gonna rip through a couple of these Marauders and Thors, maybe, hopefully, perhaps. That guy Griff is still just churning out these units, and I think maybe I'm gonna see a recall. I almost called that ahead of time. And then iSoulSSa's army, now that iSoulSSa's base is gone, is going to get wrecked. And Nubster gets out of here. Nubster, who still has, I mean, honestly, up until the end of the game, was rolling in everything. Well, yeah, alright, fine. So Nubster couldn't maintain these middle bases. Couldn't expand to another one down there. Yeah, Nubster was all mined out. Didn't have anything further to go. So they pretty much mined out everything to start, and everything to start didn't work. I'm kind of curious to see what the upgrades were. We had 3-3 bio for Griff, which is cool. 3-2 bio, 1-1 ship and plating, 1-1 ship and plating, no bio upgrades at all there, and YouSeemOP had ground armor 2-2-3 and air armor 2-3. So I think the hero of the game right there was YouSeemOP, just for sheer funness value. Average EPM of 30. If you watch any of this, leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ziggityzigs. You can send me more tales from the ladder. Send me an interesting, funny, whimsical, derp-tastic game, and I will cast it over here. Stay tuned.